Welcome to the Entrepreneur's Odyssey, the podcast where we explore the highs and the lows of entrepreneurship, featuring the bold and the brave who dare to dream. Every episode, we dive deep into the strategies that work, the challenges that teach, and the moments that change everything. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, these are the insights and experiences you need to fuel your own Odyssey.
Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur's Odyssey. I'm Brandon Moore. I'm so thankful that you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast. We've been in the last few episodes going over a series of how to get along with anyone, anywhere. This concludes that series. This is the final episode of that series, and we're going to go over a little bit about the things that we've talked about already. We talked about first avoiding the poison of criticism, that criticism kills relationships. And then we talked about setting healthy boundaries, that a boundary is where I exist and it sets where I end and you begin, or even the other direction where you end and I begin. So having healthy boundaries helps us get along with people. And then we talked about learning to actively listen, that listening is not a passive activity, but it's an active activity, that you can take notes, you can provide feedback, you can ask questions, you can use your body language to engage in conversation. The next thing that we talked about was asking curious, probing questions, and that part of those questions, sometimes those questions are to start conversations, and sometimes those questions are to deepen those conversations, to help bring awareness to people so that they can figure out maybe they're going through something, they're going through an issue or trauma, and in asking good questions helps them become more aware of the truths and the things that they need to know to get through that time. Also, we talked about praising others freely, that if you see somebody doing something well, don't hold back. Tell them that they're doing a good job, that we should be about encouraging, pouring courage into people. And that's praising people is encouraging them. And then last episode, we talked about forgiving quickly, that forgiveness is not something that we do for others. It's something we do for ourselves, that helps release us from pain and keeps us from potential bitterness affecting other relationships as we go forward. And today we're going to talk about expressing appreciation daily. I asked a group of students one time what if they could define gratitude without using the words grateful, thankful, appreciate, or any other derivatives. And if you stop and think about it for a little bit, it's really hard to do. I even looking up the word gratitude in the dictionary, and of course they used all those words to describe gratitude, but they didn't really define it. It's a concept that we know, but we don't think about all the time. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to define gratitude. I'm going to tell you about some physiological benefits of a heart of gratitude and some spiritual benefits of a heart of gratitude. And then I'm going to talk about how to express gratitude to others around you. So first, let's define gratitude. What is gratitude? It has two parts. The first part is acknowledging or recognizing that somebody has done something for you or has given you something. It's an acknowledgement. Hey, you just gave me something, or you did something for me. That acknowledgement is not gratitude, but it's the first part. It's a recognition and it's awareness that something happened to you by somebody else that was good. And the second part is giving that person the appropriate praise or honor by acts or words. Appreciation or gratitude requires an action. It requires an expression. You can't have gratitude without expression. So what is gratitude? It's acknowledgement, and then it's expressing that gratefulness. It's expressing that gratitude by praising, by honoring the person that did that thing or gave that thing to you or for you. 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18 says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Giving thanks is the will of God for us. And it's not, this verse points directly at God, and he deserves a lot of praise and a lot of thankfulness. And it's a good thing to praise and thank God and to be grateful towards God. But it's not just about being grateful towards God. It's being grateful towards others that can help you live a better life and get along with other people in a better way. There are some positive physiological effects that happen with a grateful heart. I'm going to go through a list, and then I'm going to talk about a few of them. 1, it leads to an overall state of well-being. 2, it improves your heart health. 3, an attitude of gratitude enhances your immune function. 4, gratitude helps you have better sleep quality. 5, gratitude reduces your stress levels. 6, gratitude can help in pain reduction. If you have a grateful heart and you spend time thinking about things that you're thankful for, it affects how you feel pain and whether or not you feel pain. 7, it improves your mental health. And 8, it enhances your physical health and longevity. So, a lot of good physiological effects of gratitude. One of those, the things that really affect me are the reduced stress levels. It's said that you can't be grateful and stressed at the same time. If you express gratitude, when you're in the process of expressing gratitude, there's something that happens to your stress levels. It just relieves tension in your body. It's amazing. I used to take gratefulness walks. Have you ever taken a gratefulness walk? It's where we used to have an office in Cedar Park, and there was an office complex there, and several buildings combined. And sometimes in the middle of the day, I'll just walk around the office complex, and I start out talking to God and thanking Him for all of my blessings. I start with being grateful for my beautiful wife, Angela, and then I go through the list of my kids. I love my kids. And now I get to go through the list of their spouses. I love them. They're just wonderful people. And of course, now we have our first grandbaby. I'm so thankful. See, even just talking about that, I just feel stress being released from my body right now. I'm just so grateful for all those kids and my wife and family. They're just so special to me. I'm so thankful for them. And so grateful to God for all the many blessings. If I have my health and I have my family, and I'm just so grateful for it. You might think about taking a stress walk or a gratefulness walk to relieve stress. If you're you have to use a treadmill if it's bad weather, or if you're around your neighborhood, and just talk to God about all the things that you're thankful for. It will relieve stress in your body. The other number 4 here was having better sleep quality. If you're like me, there are times where I just have trouble sleeping. Most of the time it's because of my stress level, and sometimes it's because of things that have happened and things that are going to happen, or things that I've done, or things that I have to do. All those things are rolling around in my mind, and my mind just won't shut off so that I can go to sleep. So what I started to do when that happens is I started to keep a journal. And you can keep a handwritten journal, or you can use your iPad like I do, and just start taking notes and about some of the things that happened that day that I'm grateful for. I'll write down some things that I felt like God was saying to me, and I'll write down some things that I'm going to have to do tomorrow, but I'm thankful that God is already prepared a way. He's already provided. And just begin thanking Him for all those things that He's done, and all the things that He's going to do. And as soon as I put that up, I lay down and I go right to sleep. It's really amazing how just the process of journaling takes so much stress off of your body and helps you have better sleep quality. And of course, putting gratefulness into that journal process will enhance that sleep quality. And then the number 7 was improved mental health. I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Legally Blonde, but there is a part of the movie where she says, happy people don't kill their husbands. And it was this process is that she works out, and people that work out get endorphins, and people that have these endorphins are happy, and happy people don't kill their husbands. And so perfect logic, right? And I don't know how much truth there all is to everything that was said, and I don't think I can use Legally Blonde as a reference for this physiological proof, but there are some papers that I've read that talk about the improved mental health. But one of the things that gratefulness does is helps you reframe situations in your life. Like first time that I was, or one of the times where I was laid off or fired, it happened. It was very traumatic and very stressful, and I was angry and bitter, and eventually I let it go. I forgave. But now, looking back, I can be grateful because what happened after being terminated led to my ability to purchase my first firm. As soon as I was let go, I was desperate to provide for my family. At the time, I had 2 kids and no job, and my wife was a stay-at-home mom, and so it was all up to me. And thankfully, God, I've never been without a job, never been without income. God has always provided in that area, and I'm very thankful for that. Again, I'm very grateful and thankful. But right after being terminated, I went to work for a CPA as a bookkeeper for 8 hours or 6 hours a day, just to pay some bills, just to have money coming in. And then in the rest of the day, I worked contract for a tax company, a tax firm. And so I was actually working 14-hour days at that time, just to make sure that we had more than enough to coming in. And that guy that I went to work for as a bookkeeper 4 years later or 3 years later was selling his practice, and he remembered me because I worked for him for 5 months, and we were able to talk about, and he was very comfortable with selling me his practice and trusting me with his clients, which is a big deal when you're selling your practice. But that event, when I think about it now, I think about it as I'm grateful to God. Not grateful that it happened, but I'm grateful that He was there for me and walked me through that pattern and walked with me through that process. And never, in words that David said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging bread. Though I was terminated at the worst time, it was like days before Christmas, the December 22nd, 2000. I just remember like it was, and that was such a traumatic event for a new dad. My first 2 kids were both 2 and under, and so it was stressful, but God provided, and I'm just so thankful that He provided. And happy people don't kill their husbands. So being grateful, and gratefulness will lead to contentedness, which in there it says in Philippians that to be anxious for nothing, but by prayer and thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God. Right after that is when Paul says, I've learned to be content. So thankfulness leads to contentedness. So just remember, a heart of gratitude has physiological benefits, but also gratitude has spiritual benefits. One, it encourages fellowship. There's that story with the 10 lepers where they have to shout to him because as lepers, they're not allowed to get close. And he says, go show yourselves to the priests. And so 10 are on the way, and that's when they're healed. And because they're healed, now they can be around people. But the one comes back to Jesus and worships and is grateful and thankful to God for the healing that took place in his life. And because he was grateful, he was able to get close to Jesus. So being thankful encourages fellowship. Being grateful to the people around you. They want to be around you because you're thankful and you show appreciation to them. 2, it enables peace. Philippians 4:6, we just said that we should be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let our requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Being thankful leads to peace. It just enables peace of mind, being grateful to God, not just for what He's done for you in the past, but for what He's promised in the future. And the third thing is that the gratefulness enters you into God's presence. Psalm 100 verse 4 says, enter His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise, and be thankful to Him and bless His name. When you have a grateful heart, that's the heart that enters the presence of God. That's the attitude that allows you to get close to God. And so when we are thankful, we have physiological benefits and we have spiritual benefits. When you have a grateful heart, that's good. But then remember, gratefulness and thankfulness is two parts. It's one, acknowledging, and then it's expression. And when you express appreciation to not just God, but to those around you, different people receive appreciation in different ways. Dr. Gary Chapman has written a couple of books. One is The 5 Love Languages. Another one is called The 5 Appreciation Languages for the Workplace. Both of them are very good. And they talk about how that everybody receives love and appreciation in 5 ways. And he calls them languages. And I love that he calls them languages because appreciation is a part of communication. You have to be expressed. And these are the ways that it can be expressed. It's words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, tangible gifts, and appropriate physical touch. And if your love languages is acts of service, and you might be working really hard for somebody else and doing things for them over and over, but their love language is gifts, receiving gifts, you may not feel appreciated even though you're showing it. Now the good thing is that most people have one major, one language. And so if you're doing at least one of those, you should be communicating appreciation to them in a way that they'll receive. I by giving gifts and words of affirmation, or I am words of affirmation, more affirmation now than I used to be. I used to not show a lot of appreciation at all. And now because to be more expressive of my appreciation, I do so in words. I write notes. I speak things over to people, tell them how much I love them and how much I appreciate them. And sometimes people don't receive words of affirmation. They want to see acts of service. And, I think James says that, I'll show my faith by my works. So it's like sometimes just a matter of speaking. Sometimes with some people, they need to see a little bit more to understand and to receive that appreciation. Now, the one thing that you want the number 5 is physical touch. I put in there appropriate physical touch, especially in the workplace or your friends and neighbors and family around you. Physical touch may be limited to a handshake or a pat on the back. But the good thing, if somebody's love language is physical touch, they probably have another love language that you'll be able to show appreciation to them. And sometimes finding out what people's love language is a matter of having them fill out a survey, which I did with my employees. Only a couple of them sent them back. And sometimes it's just trial and error, just trying to see what works, what kind of appreciation they receive versus what you give, and see if you can't somehow, what would be good. And kids, when they receive love in all 5 ways. And so at some point they're going to start honing in and start, it'll be two ways forward, but most of the time we give love in every way that they can receive it. And that's really good for them. It's good for them to be held. It's good for them to have gifts. It's good for them to have words of affirmation and quality time. And it's good to serve kids and give them everything that they need and see how God uses that love language in them to spread his good news to them. But this showing appreciation daily means. It means first having this heart of gratitude and the benefits. It's easier to get into that habit of gratitude. And then knowing how to show appreciation to other people. And I'd recommend reading those books, the 5 Appreciation Languages of the Workplace and the 5 Love Languages. It'll really help you, give you some good examples of how to demonstrate love in ways that people hear and understand and receive. So I appreciate you listening. This has been a great podcast, and I'm so thankful. My book is in the process of being edited. It's probably not going to be in the same order that we did, but I think you're going to love it. And once it comes out, we'll give you a shout out and let you know it's coming. I'll try to do some kind of open the box video when I receive the printed, when it gets finalized. But that's coming up, and I can't wait till it to be on Amazon for people to receive and enjoy. If you've enjoyed this, please like and share. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us on the Entrepreneur's Odyssey. We hope today's journey has left you inspired and ready to push the boundaries of what you thought was possible. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Don't forget to rate and review us, and share this episode with someone who could use a little inspiration on their entrepreneurial journey. Join us for more insights and stories. Until then, keep chasing your dreams and write your own Odyssey.